or she's Elm says out with the Pat Bev changed everything talk. I like Pat Bev, but this is too much. We had our starters back. You know where the starters were back? Against Portland, up against the Portland Trailblazers. And you know what we did? Got our ass whooped. And so instead of getting our ass whooped against Portland tonight, we took the belt to asses tour. And that's what started. Listen, you guys were people. I'm not saying you guys. People were late on the PJ Tucker train. They didn't realize the impact PJ Tucker had. It's not going to be in the stat sheet. It's not going to be all the time. But you're going to see it. And I'm telling you, you're tripping. Patrick Beverly is a game changer, impact guy. And it may not show all the time in the stat sheet, but he's going to impact the game with his energy and his tenacity and his focus and his hustle. I don't know. Again, I don't know what you guys are watching, but I'm telling you, it was apparent tonight that the energy and the air around his team was different.
Well, one thing I want to be clear on too, because when people talk about PJ being overrated, listen, I get that from looking at the stat sheet and looking at that and seeing PJ now, looking at him in LA rotting, looking at him when he went to the Sixers rotting, right? I see that. But if you're a true Bucks fan who watched that 2021 team play, you saw the value PJ brought to the table. You 100% saw how he uplifted the spirits of this team, turned them to a tougher team at a pivotal point, literally changed the trajectory of this team. There's no question about that with what PJ Tucker did. All right, so that's one thing. The second thing, you guys talked about Pat Beverly in offense. Look, I think his career average is somewhere around 8 or 9 points per game. And but the interesting thing is he attempts about 4 threes a game, and I believe, is a career 38% 3-point shooter, right? So offensively, I'm not going to ask Pat Beverly to do anything more than what he's been doing for his entire career. And if he can give us that, I think that's going to be meaningful. I 100% think that's enough. That's enough for him on the offensive side of the ball, right? Because he's going to give us more than anybody else on the perimeter is going to get on defensively, right? Except for maybe Crowder, but I think he may be a little bit better defender than Jay Crowder. I do want to make those points. But Trey, the belts to ass tour started. We got our day one. Yeah. We got our day one. I love this energy. And no, I don't think Pat Beverly's coming and changed everything, but I certainly think that we're going to see Pat Beverly's impact much sooner than later. And we kind of saw that tonight already. I don't care who the hell they put out there. I think it really would have went the same. Honestly, I think it probably would have went the same way if the Hornets that they started.
Dog, this man did a fake ejaculation on Steve Clifford after he hit a 3.
Yeah,
like that's the energy's different, dog. I don't know what the energy's different. Like the energy's different. It just is. I don't know what to tell you.
No, you're not. You showing your ass now, Pat.
Exactly.
Now you're showing your ass.
But you're showing when you whip it, when you going belts to asses. That's what you're doing. You're showing it. I like it. And that's what this team needed. Somebody who don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I need somebody who don't care.
But I also think that it's kind of like the Midwest mentality a little bit. Like he grew up in Chicago. Like this is a team that wasn't too far from him where he was raised and stuff. That's what we're about in the Midwest. I'll speak for us because you guys aren't, and y'all ain't from here. But I do think that there's a little bit of familiarity there in terms of just a gritty team and what the Milwaukee Bucks are supposed to be. And I think Pat Bev just being in Chicago and growing up there and also playing for the Bulls and stuff and playing in the same division, I think that, I don't know. But I think, I did too. But I think that's what Pat Bev is about, and that's what he's ready to bring to Milwaukee. And I don't think that he doesn't want to be here. I think he's actually ecstatic to be here. I think he's excited to play alongside Giannis. I think he's excited to try to get a ring.
He's just a dog, man. He's an absolute dog. I love it. King of Kings says Pat Bev is going to bring leadership, energy, and so much. John Hassel says only problem is Pat Bev nor Beasley are going to be able to guard Tatum or Brown. I agree with you, John, but here's the thing, and here's what I do think Doc Rivers is going to do. Doc Rivers has already shown he started already. Giannis is going to get one of those matchups, for some portion of the game, and that's been what I know that Mike Budenholzer was scared to do. I know people have been afraid to do it. I think when the game gets on the line, if Giannis is not in foul trouble, you're going to put him on those wings. You're going to put him on the Jimmy Butlers. You're going to put him on the Jason Tatums or the Jaylen Browns, that type of a player, and he's going to make an impact. So I think that has always, to me, been the difference. Mike Budenholzer did it in 2021 against Jimmy Butler and then didn't go back to it for some odd reason in last year's series against Miami. You got to be able to trust Giannis to play defense. And that, again, I do think Doc Rivers will do that.